Hi, Jonathan from Live Love Coach. Are you or someone you know feeling stuck, searching for direction, or wanting a clearer sense of what's next? You're welcome to connect with me. Whether you're exploring practical next steps or seeking God's leading, I'm always open to a genuine, no pressure conversation. Welcome back. Great to have you with me, and I'm hoping you're enjoying the things that I'm talking about and the things that I'm going through. And today I just wanted to share some thoughts on an event that I went to with the Waikato Chamber of Commerce just the other night, and it was a really good event. They put on a guest speaker, and it was a paid event with them, and the guest speaker was Lisa O'Neill, and she's a motivational speaker talking on finding your energy, keeping your energy going, and that sort of thing. And she had some really great ideas and thoughts that she was putting out there, and things that you could really take away and just use in life, just in keeping up your energy and keeping things going. And I took her test that she has on her website, and saying that I need to get my physical energy up a bit more, but I was pretty close. I was pretty good, I thought, with most of the things there. But one of the things that stood out to me that she spoke about was being yourself, being uniquely you. Not living up to what everybody thinks you should be, what people think you who you should be, how you should act, the way you should do things. She's like, well, if you're a grumpy person, be a grumpy person. If you're a happy person, be a happy person. But live it out as you are. Don't go into work and be this pristine person that you think everybody wants to see, because they're not getting the real you. And I think that's something that I've sort of noticed within myself as well. Is it's taken me some time to actually understand who I really am. Am I really this person or that person? We get defined by these things that people tell us we are. By our job. For many years I was a welder, so that's who I was. I was a welder. I was an engineering workshop person. That's what people expected me to be. A number of years I was a technician. That's what people thought I was. And when I really started to explore for myself who I was and what actually brought me joy, because when we understand who we are and what the things that we actually enjoy, the things that bring us joy in our lives, you get to realize that actually, you're not what you do. I think that's one of the biggest things, is that people think they are what they do, but you're not. What are the things that actually bring you joy? What is it that actually makes you happy? If you're going home from work and going, oh man, what another crap day, didn't enjoy that, and but I've got to do it because that's where I'm getting my money from, and I've got to do this and I've got to do that. You really need to be thinking about what is it that actually brings you joy. And it may not be that you're in the wrong job. You might be just in the wrong position within that job. And that can be a simple thing to change sometimes. And that's just being able to work out where you get your joy from. What is it that you actually enjoy doing that brings you pleasure in your day, that helps you to feel better, to actually be able to work and really bring your best self to the workplace, to your family, to your friends, the things that you're doing. What is it that you really enjoy? Often I think we get stuck in this idea that we have to do certain things because that's just the way it is. That's what we've always been told. And I was having an interesting conversation with some guys around being told what you should do. There's all these shoulds out there. All these people who put on you the you should be this, or you should be doing that, or you should think about this and go through this and go through that. And it's often a case of what they think and what they wanted for themselves, or what they may want to be doing, not what you should actually be doing. And so when you understand who you are, what your personality is, that's when you can really take the time. You can really actually go, hey, you know what? This is what I actually enjoy. This is what brings me pleasure. And that may not be the job you're in. It may not be the place you're living. I don't know what it could be. Sometimes it is quite dramatic and you need to make some big changes. Other times it's just small things, and maybe a shift in a position in a job place. Maybe just changing up your hobbies, doing something a bit different, or maybe you don't have hobbies. I know a lot of guys who don't have hobbies. They're just working with their family, don't really have hobbies that they can sit down and say, hey, this is actually what I enjoy. This is what I like to do. For me, I've sort of learned over the last couple of years, I really enjoy making Lego. I get the Lego cars and I make them up, and unlike some people would say, oh, you should be pulling them apart and making them again, I enjoy that, just making it once, putting it away somewhere on display as a model. And that's something that I enjoy doing it. I wouldn't do it every day, but I enjoy just having it there, even a small car or a larger set. The booklets have sections in them, and so you can just make a section at a time, or a bag of each pieces at a time. And I drag it out for a few weeks. And some of the cars that I've made have been pretty cool. They're taking me 15, 16 hours to make, and I just enjoy it. I just plug away at it. It's something that is just my little thing to do. It's something that I enjoy, and I get a nice model at the end of it that I can display, take some pleasure in, and look at and go, man, that was cool to make that. Now I can enjoy it and watch it, look at it and just really take it in. And so I've got a bit of a collection of Lego. I never really had Lego as a kid. I got sent some from an auntie from overseas when I was a young kid. Enjoyed that, but that was it. That was all the Lego I really had. I had the old Toro, if you remember Toro. That was a bit of a fake Lego set. Wasn't as good. It was just blocks and whatnot, and I didn't really enjoy that so much. But certainly I enjoy some of the things that Lego brings out. And that's the thing. What is it that brings you joy? What is it that just you can just do, and you enjoy it, and you find some pleasure in it? For some people, that's exercising, getting out in nature, going hanging out with friends. There's all sorts of things that we can do that will just bring us that joy, that will really light us up and make us feel good. And so it's part of that is understanding who you are. As we learn who we are, as we get to grips with ourselves, then we can actually start to understand what brings us joy. And that's the thing for me. For a number of years I've been in the trades. I've been working with my hands. I've been doing trade related businesses or work, and I've come to realize that actually that doesn't really bring me the joy that I get from dealing with people. Throughout my 20 years of the audiovisual business, the joy really, when I look at it, came from dealing with the people, talking to the people, helping them, finding a solution for them, not necessarily giving them the product and putting it in, but finding the solution, talking with them, helping them find something that's going to bring them joy in their home or in their business, something that's going to help them feel secure. These all these things that were behind it all. The putting the product in was just the end result that needed to be done, because that's what I had sold them. Putting the end product in wasn't what really brought me joy. I really enjoyed that 5 minutes, 10 minutes that I got to put on a home theatre system, crank it up a little bit, play something that's interesting, listen to that surround sound going around. That gave me some pleasure. But it wasn't, the whole job itself wasn't really what was bringing me joy. The more I learn about myself, the more that I understand who I am, the more I find I just really enjoy being with people. I enjoy helping people to find themselves, be able to work through things and be able to find the way forward for them. And it's something that you can do yourself. I mean, there's plenty of personality profiles that you can go through, that you can look at, you can take on board and understand what they mean, what they tell you you're like. Are you a task-focused person? Are you a people-focused person? Are you introverted? Are you extroverted? What sort of things do you like in your work? Like the working genius. Are you a discerner? Are you a wanderer? You're an inventor. Do you like to finish things? All this sort of stuff really helps build up and help you to understand who you are and why you do things a certain way. But I think that one of the big things to do is to not apologize for who you are. Now, I'm not saying be arrogant. I'm not saying go out there and just go, this is me, take me or leave me. If you don't like me, too bad. I'm saying, understand who you are and live within that. Because when we try and be somebody that we're not, that's what takes us away from our joy, takes us away from getting to know people properly and from people being able to know us properly. And something that Lisa said was that, she just goes, she decides by how people, how the energy is coming across from people, whether she likes them or not. And if she likes them, she'll go up and say, hey, I like you, and strike up a friendship with them. And it doesn't mean that she has a long-term friendship or anything like that, but she will just let them know, hey, you're a cool person, I like your energy, I like what's going on. And so, when we're in a position where, we're not enjoying things, people notice it. People know when you're just feeling down and out and you're not enjoying it, you don't like your job, you don't like this. That comes from within us. We've got to be able to work through, we've got to be able to figure out what is actually causing us the trouble here, what is going on. And that's where, talking with somebody like myself can really be a big help. You can really work through those things. If you haven't got that person in your life that you can talk to that can help you understand what's going on without bias, without giving options and say, oh, you should try this and you should try that. There's things that you can work through that help you understand who you are, why you do certain things, the way you act, where your energy comes from. Because when you're in a place that you is fulfilling your energy, that is bringing you joy, then you'll present this good energy. You'll be somebody that people want to be around. You'll be somebody that people want to know, and your life itself will actually be a lot better, a lot more fulfilled, and you'll really be able to go forward in much better ways. But so often we get stuck in the day-to-day grind. We think we have to do something because that's where it is. I have to be in this job because I've got a family to feed. I have to be doing this because I've got so-and-so relying on me, or anything like that. But when we're putting pressure on ourselves for things that don't bring us joy, we're never going to excel in that. And when you find your place where you're joyful, that's what you excel in. That's where you really get your joy from, and you start to really move forward and really be able to make things go well. And I've often said, we're often told, work on the things that you're not good at, because that'll help the things that you're good at to be better. But work on the things that you're not good at, because that's really what when you get those right, then everything else sort of falls in line. But actually, I think we should be working on things we are good at. We should be filling in the places, taking on the places that give us joy, that actually allow us to keep on moving and keep on going where we're happy, and pass on the things that don't bring you that joy, don't bring you that happiness. Get somebody else to do it. Give it to somebody else. If it's possible for you to be able to hand things off to somebody else, give it to them to do. Because for somebody else, that thing will be their joy. That'll be the thing that they enjoy. Some people love numbers. Some people like looking at the analytics of things and seeing what's going on in the background. Other people can't be bothered with that. They just want to get on and do the front end stuff. Like sitting in front of a video. Some people love sitting in front of it and talking to the video and going, hey, look at me, this is what I'm doing. Others would rather be behind it, seeing what's going on, doing the editing and doing all that sort of thing. And so you just got to find your place. Find those people that enjoy the things you don't enjoy. Together you're going to be stronger. And I think that's the thing, when we can find a community, when we can find people we can work with, then we get stronger as well, because together we build each other up. Rather than trying to do everything for everyone, we're doing our best for those around us, and we build each other up as a community. And as that happens, then things just start to explode. Your joy becomes more, you become more energetic, and things really start to move forward. So I just want to really encourage you, if you're not really in the place, if you're a bit of a funk, not quite sure where you're going, hey, reach out to somebody. You can reach out to me, you can have a chat to me, reach out to a friend, somebody who's not going to pressure you and say, oh, you should be doing this, should be doing that, because, that's just the answer they've got. But somebody who can actually help you work through things and be able to understand it and figure it out. Really help, really find somebody who can work with, and think about those things that you don't really enjoy. And if you're able to, pass them to somebody else. Get somebody to do them for you. And it doesn't always have to cost money. There's lots of people who will help in life to help you do things so that you can become better and work more. But hey, reach out. Find your joy in your life. Find those people that really can help you with those things, and just wish you all the best, and hope that you are finding joy in yourself. You're finding joy in the things you're doing, and that you're able to really have a good energy, so that you can really reach out to the people around you and really bring joy into their lives as well as your joy bubbles over. So I hope that's been helpful to you, and look forward to catching you on the next one. Bye.